Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Music and Moonsaults. I am your host, Kris, and it's been a while since we've done one of these. It's a new album review. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think the last one might have been the last Royal Blood album, and which is funny because they got another new one coming out this year, so there'll be one for that one as well. But yeah, I haven't done one of these in a while. Last year wasn't really didn't really have a whole lot of new releases that I was particularly into enough to do one of these. Um, but like I said, this year we've got a couple new Mammoth album coming out, new Royal Blood album coming out, and what we're here for today, the new Foo Fighters album. But here we are. Came out about a week ago now, as you guys are seeing this. Um, and it's really good. I'll just say that right off the top. It's probably their best album since Sonic Highways. Uh, and that's I mean I was not the biggest fan of Concrete and Gold, but I really liked Medicine at Midnight. But this is even another level from that. So really great stuff. Obviously, you know, I'm sure everyone knows about the the untimely passing of Taylor Hawkins in late March of 2022. Um, and what some people might not know is that Dave Grohl's mother also passed away a few months after that. So he had a really tough stretch there, and this album is kind of the result of those two things. Um, you can hear it in pretty much every song. You know, the dealing with grief and coming to grips with losing, you know, two of the most important people of your life in a matter of months. But Dave was really able to channel that into something really great, something beautiful. Um, just all around, just a really great record. Um, I'm not gonna dive too deep into each song because I'm still processing it myself. I've listened to it probably 5 or 6 times through now. Uh, I've had it on repeat the last couple days, just kind of trying to get it all soaked in before I recorded this. And still don't have everything, but I can I can give you some broader thoughts here. Um, I did read a couple other reviews, um, and everyone mostly there was one that was a weird review, but most everyone really likes it. If you go to I think it's the Metacritic score, um, it's like 86, which means it's universally liked for critics, and I think the audience score is like in the 90s. So everyone, like I said, everyone seems to really dig this. A couple of the reviews I read, um, and the band has said it themselves. Um, how it kind of excuse me, kind of takes them back to the first album, and there's like a couple songs, maybe, um, that remind me of the first album. I hear a lot of the other albums in this record. I hear, and I'll talk about it. I hear some "There's Nothing Left to Lose" in here. I hear some "In Your Honor" in this record. I hear there's definitely a couple songs that sound like "Medicine at Midnight," and there's other stuff that just doesn't there's that doesn't really sound a whole lot like anything they've done, but it's still obviously Foo Fighters. So one thing that was um, interesting the parallels between this album and the first album is like the time frame, you know, with Kurt Cobain's passing in '94, and then the first Foo Fighters album coming out, about a year later in '95. Here we are, with, like I said, Taylor passed away in late March 2022, and we're in early June 2023, and we have a new Foo Fighters record. So that parallel was kind of not one you necessarily want to think of or you want to repeat, but it is kind of, I don't know if it's necessarily serendipitous or whatever, but it's just kind of interesting how that worked out. But yeah, we're gonna go through the songs here real quickly and just kind of give some brief thoughts on them. Actually, before I do that, suppose I should show you the record. I didn't pre-order this in advance. I actually ended up ordering the vinyl the day the day the album came out. I don't know why. I don't know if I wanted to wait and see. I was pretty sure I was going to like it. I mean, it's a new Foo Fighters album. So I don't think that was it. But I don't know. For whatever reason, I wasn't in a rush to pre-order it. So I listened to about 75% of the album, Friday during the day when I was out and about running some errands with my son, and I had it on in the car, and I'm like, oh no, okay, this is really good. I need to get this. So I ordered it from Amazon. It showed up the next day. Thank you, Amazon Prime. But there's the front cover. The color scheme is very interesting. So I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but there's, it's pretty much a white cover. There's some gray streaks, and if you look really closely, there's like a blue and some pink. But you have to look really closely to see it. And speaking of having to look really closely, you have to look really closely to read anything on this jacket or even in the lyric sheet. But I mean, the font, excuse me, sorry. The font you can barely read. That's, there's the album title down there, and then on the back here it's like same thing. Can't really see anything. You got to look really closely. But it's got the track listing. It's for Virginia. I'll spit it out. For Virginia and Taylor. Virginia is Dave's mom. Produced by Greg Kurstin again. So this is his third consecutive Foo Fighters album, and the Foo Fighters as well. Yeah, I think that's it on that. And then, like I said, there is a lyrics sheet. But again, you have to really, really strain your eyes to see anything here. But what do you do? So, but yeah, so the first song is Rescued. That's the first song pretty much I think anyone heard really off of this. When they announced the album, they released this song, and this is the one where you're like, okay, I know what this album is going to be about, because I even made the joke to Joel Pearl, who's been on this channel multiple times. I'm trying to get him back on. It's just tough. He's very busy now with his podcasting, but I digress. I was joking with Joel about how, there's that, in the Back and Forth documentary, there's that part where Nate's talking about how every interview, when they're out on tour for the first album, every interview someone's asking Dave, is this song about Kurt? And so I was like, well, I'm happy that Dave finally got out of that phase and can move into the, is this song about Taylor phase? Uh, Again, not, I mean, just an awful circumstance, but trying to make light of a heavy situation. But yeah, it's a really good album opener. This one feels a lot like it could have been on In Your Honor. It has that same vibe with a big sing-along chorus. You can hear a whole stadium of people sing along to this one in your head as you're listening to it. So that's what I got vibes. Good song. The second song, Under You, I immediately got There's Nothing Left to Lose vibes on this one. The opening guitar kind of reminds me of the opening to Generator. So that's why I kind of got that feel, and it's got that same overall feel, like that power pop feel that a lot of that album had. Just a really catchy tune. Hearing Voices is next. This one feels a little bit more modern. Foo Fighters, more like something off of Medicine at Midnight. I like the song a lot. What I really love is the end. The song fades out, and it fades into. It sounds like it's just a room mic. It's just a piano. I'm guessing it's probably Rami on the piano, and probably Dave strumming acoustic guitar, and Dave singing this part of the song, and that's how the track ends, and it was kind of cool. I don't know if that was a when they're learning the song. I don't know if that's taken from that, and they kind of just spliced that in on the end, or if that was done intentionally. But I just thought it was a cool touch there. Then we have the title track, But Here We Are. This one feels like a mix between something off of One by One or In Your Honor. The verses feel very much like One by One, but again, it's got the big chorus, like In Your Honor has with songs like Best of You and stuff like that. So kind of a mixture of those two albums, but it's pretty good. I think my favorite song is the next song, The Glass. It's starts out acoustic guitar based. It's just got a really cool melody, and I'm a sucker. It's got a very short guitar solo, and I am a sucker for when the guitar solo is basically just the vocal melody repeated in a guitar solo form, and that's what this is here, and it sounds phenomenal. Yeah, so it's kind of, this one might be about his mom, because it seems to be talking, and not much, his mom's death was kept very private. Not a lot of people even knew that she passed, or that she was even sick or anything like that. But the kind of the theme of the song is like you're standing on, outside of the person's hospital room, and you're, they're on the other side of the glass or whatever. So, I liked it. I like that song a lot. Like I said, I think right now that's my favorite song on the album. Um, and then we have Nothing at All. Yeah, Nothing at All. This one feels like it was a direct, um, like like almost like it was left. Not saying it's a throwaway track because it's a good song. But it sounds like if you would have told me sight unseen that this was an outtake from the Medicine at Midnight sessions, I would have believed you because it sounds exactly like some of the other songs on that record. Some of the better songs on that record that I really loved. Um, so that's what that song sounds like. Show Me How. This is a cool one. This one gives me actually Sonic Highways vibes, especially like the last two songs on Sonic Highways. Um, uh, but this one has dueling vocals between Dave and his daughter Violet, and it's very beautiful. Um, yeah, just very very beautifully done. And she kind of even takes the lead at on the outro to the song, um, where you don't even hear Dave's voice; you just hear her voice sing, you know, her part during the outro. So that's good. Good way to get her start getting her more. You know, she's been singing background with them for a little while now, but good to bring her to the forefront. Um, and then we got the last three tracks in. They're all pretty heavy. Um, Beyond Me. Um, this one is yeah, it's just really really moving. Especially when it's just Dave and the guitar and the keyboards. The first half of the song. Um, just very moving stuff. Um, the they went for an epic here on this album. The Teacher, 10 minutes long. I'm still not sure how I feel about this one yet. This is the one out of every other song on the album. This is the one that I'm still not completely sold on yet. It kind of feels like two songs that they just kind of smushed together to make one big long one, but um oh, it's growing on me. The first time I heard it, I'm like, or it wasn't even. It was maybe it's because it's before I heard it. And they said, "Oh, here's the the new Foo Fighters song is 10 minutes long," and I'm like, I'm not big. I'm not big on long wrestling matches, and I'm not really big on long songs for the most part. Especially once you get over the 10-minute mark, I'm like, but it's growing on me. But still, if I had to say, if I had to leave one off, I would probably pick this one. And then we close with Rest. And this one has Color in the Shape vibes. Especially Doll. The first half of the song is very quiet, like Doll is. It's just Dave and acoustic guitar, and he's barely singing. And then about halfway through the song, there's this big, loud, distorted, all to hell guitar chord. And then the rest of the band comes in, and it's, the lyrics are rest, you can rest now. Let's see here. Rest, you can rest now. Rest, you will be safe now. And it just repeats that over and over again. and then there's like a do 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 do. That kind of repeats itself. It starts in the quiet acoustic part, and then the electric guitar comes in and plays it, and then they bring the synths in on top of that, and just layers upon layers. Just really like yeah, when you really think about it, like it's hits you. It hits you pretty hard here. If I'm not catching myself, if I'm not doing something else besides listening to the song, it'll get me in the feels, as they say. So but it's a good way to close out this album. So yeah, that's kind of it. Those are my brief thoughts. It's like I said, it's definitely their best one since Sonic Highways. Not really ready to say it's better than Sonic Highways yet, but it's close. Yeah, it's it's a good first chapter in this new era of Foo Fighters post Taylor. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but if I haven't, I just want to if I have, I want to reiterate. But if I haven't, I think it should be noted that I was wondering who, when they announced that they were going to continue, I'm like, okay, who are they going to have play the drums? And that's basically the only question I've had since I think they announced in December that they were going to play some shows and continue on. So ever since last December, I've been like, okay, who's the drummer? And then I heard they had a new album out. I'm like, okay, well, did they have someone else play it? Like, and no, Dave did the drums on this. So again, I guess that's another similarity to the first album. I guess the first time he's played drums on a Foo Fighters album since 2005, which would have been, I think he played drums on the song Taylor sings, Cold Day in the Sun. I guess that's, when you've got two of the greatest rock drummers of all time in your band and you lose one, that's kind of, a nice thing to fall back on. It's like, well, at least we got, we still got this other guy who's pretty great at drums too. And then I did watch their show at the Rock am Ring Festival in Germany last Friday. And that was my first time really seeing the Josh Freese with them. And I thought it was pretty good. I guess there's people online. I haven't really seen it. Excuse me. It's late when I'm recording this, so I apologize. But I guess there's people online that's, giving him crap for whatever, pick a reason, I guess. And people just gotta he's not Taylor. No one's Taylor. No one's gonna be Taylor. And if you want this band to continue, like I think a lot of us did, you just kind of gotta accept that and go with the flow here. But from what I saw, he's fitting in quite nicely with the rest of the group. So I'm hoping they have yet to announce a Detroit show. Hoping that comes soon, because I will be there. So all right, that'll do it. Go ahead and leave a thumbs up on this video. Let me know in the comments what you think about this album, and subscribe to the channel, musicandmoonsalts.com. Yeah, think that's it. So until next time, see ya.